So going way back to Bharat before invaders, where truth, satya, is ultimate. And as Hindus, living in their home of Bharat, they are all seekers of truth. And that led to great traditions of debate, the greatest respect for information and for gurus. And it was in that environment that Bharat prospered so much. It was the civilizational world leader in hygiene and agriculture and architecture and science and technology. And whenever Adharma did arise, it got squashed very quickly because people knew very clearly what is right and what is wrong. And you can see that in the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, when Adharma rose, it got countered very quickly. People had clarity. Now contrast that with medieval Europe, where people were forcibly prevented from knowing the truth. And there is the saying that the king would keep you poor and the church would keep you stupid. And they would do that by making you fearful. So you could look at the contrast between Bharat and medieval Europe. So now let's fast forward to modern times, modern day Europe. So the West is no longer under the stranglehold of the church anymore. And I feel the media has had a massive role to play in that. It's got information out to the people, even where that information was challenging not just the church, but maybe the king or politicians. And for that reason, many of the issues to do with the Christian faith have been very rightly challenged. So, it's free publication on scientific discoveries now, even if they do challenge the Christian faith. So people have access to the information to understand and see these conflicts for themselves. And a really contemporary issue that's been coming out in the media is obviously the rampant paedophilia among the Christian church, in the UK, but across the world as well. So the media's had such a massive role to play in exposing these injustices and giving the truth to the people, empowering the people. Now, still staying in modern times, but let's shift over to Bharat, to India now. And when we look at those three previous periods, I would say actually the situation we're seeing ourselves in modern day India has more in common with that medieval Europe situation, right? When you look at what's happening to Arnabji and how they are stifling the truth from getting out to the people. Ultimately, medieval Catholic Church tactics are being employed in India today to control the information that's getting to people, to protect a dynasty with strong links to Italy and the Catholic Church through Sonia Gandhi, obviously, but ultimately to be protecting this dynasty of greedy, power-hungry people, and not only protecting them, but also their wider interests. And that's where the extensions then to the wider Break India forces come in. So we have then the Sushant Singh Rajput case, and the implications then of the interference of Pakistan and Bollywood. And obviously Arnabji has such a critical role in exposing that. And on the other side, another way in which Arnab is in exposing the truth, where many others have not dared, is in the lynching of the sadhus in Palghar. And these are the real reasons why he is in the situation he is now of being arrested. It's because he is exposing the truth on the Palghar lynching case, on the SSR case. It's not really to do with this suicide case that he's somehow got embroiled in. It's got nothing to do with that. It's protecting the interests of the Break India forces. That is why he is being arrested. And that's because if there is anything to report about Hinduism, Hindus, India, they'll only report the bad stuff, the stuff that makes India, particularly Hindus, look bad. So what I tell my friends and family in the UK is if you ever read anything about India in the media, probably the opposite is closer to the truth than what you're reading. And that just is an example of just how degraded, the situation of information and the truth has become in India. That, you know, from where truth was the ultimate and information was so respected, to the position now where lies are just being spewed out. I mean, how can anyone respect that kind of information? So just to sum up, I'm saying that in India, modern day India, there are stronger parallels to medieval Europe than there are to, you know, modern free society. And unless these tactics, these medieval tactics, are countered, you know, there will be a civil war in India, because all they're doing is empowering the Break India forces. And we've seen precursors of this already with the Delhi riots and the Bengaluru riots, which obviously were reported horrifically and didn't tell the truth at all, and mix up the victims and the perpetrators in most of the press. But importantly, when there is a civil war, there needs to be a channel for the truth to come out. Otherwise, India, and particularly Hindus, they won't survive. So this is how important Arnabji is. And, you know, the work of journalists who are courageous like him to be revealing the truth. This is how important it is. The survival of India and Hindus depends on it.